Hello there, Season 13 is here, and with it came Beasts of Burden and Safe and Sound. Two new events which shall bestow upon you a whole bunch of new weapons, or if you're like me, two of them over and over and over and over again. But anyway, there are a couple that definitely stand out amongst them as being the best, so let's take a look at them. And first up, we have the Blue Ridge Branding Iron, and while I seriously feel sorry for Brahmin of the future, because these dudes took branding irons to a whole new level. But super cool looking weapon. Of course you can reroll the legendary effect on it, but it is a one-handed weapon with additional flame damage. So yes, that means it does also function with perk cards like Friendly Fire, so keep that in mind in case you need to do any healing of NPCs or your buddies. But how does it perform? And well, it performs really solid, and surprisingly, you can get away with sneaking with this weapon as well. Not all the time, but definitely doable for a stealth build. It's quick even without the 40% increased attack speed, so enemies are going down in 1 to 2 hits very easily. I wasn't rocking any other gladiator perk cards here either, so there's even more performance that you can get out of it if you go all in on those perk cards. I just always use Incisor and Martial Artist for my melee weapons, and then other damage perk cards like Adrenaline, instead of the class specific ones, especially in Strength, because it's just a super busy category. But the Blue Ridge Branding Iron, definitely a cool weapon, really good performance, additional functionality with that flame damage for healing, so if you get it, definitely give it a try. And sticking on the melee topic, next up we have the Agua Gauntlet. Now if you like weapons like the Deathclaw Gauntlet or Power Fist, any of those unarmed options, then this one will fit your style really well. It shares the same mods as the Bear Arm, so I've gone with the Puncturing mod here for it, but it also comes with a 4th additional star of 20% increased damage, which is very nice, but there is a small inconsistency that I find with this gauntlet, so definitely let me know in the comments if you've noticed that as well, but I'll get into that in a second. Stealth with this weapon is completely doable as it is silent, and that's how I prefer using unarmed weapons. Great for stealth builds, great one-hit kills on a lot of different enemies, but this is where there's that slight oddity. Regular attacks will get a one-hit kill on certain enemies, and on those very same enemies, a power attack from this weapon won't, which is odd because you'd think that the power attack would be stronger, which it's supposed to be, but for some reason it's doing less damage than the regular attacks. Even on enemies that don't get one hit killed, the regular attacks take more of their health bar than the power attack does. Now I don't know exactly what's happening here. I feel like maybe that 20% increased damage isn't applying to the power attacks and only to the regular, which is why the regular attacks are performing better, but I don't know, because the power attacks also seem to rubber band the health bar way more than the regular attacks. And I noticed this on the PTS as well, but let me know if it's happening to you. And this is also without any perk cards affecting things like Adrenaline or Tenderizer, and even with buffs like Adrenaline, it's still performing worse than the regular attack. So really odd, but regardless, it's an awesome weapon. Definitely try it out. And definitely do me a small favor and nuke that like button and consider subscribing. And for our third weapon, we have the Holy Fire, which I did a video on recently, so if you want to, you can check that out. But the Holy Fire, a flamer with a unique blue flame. It is a very cool weapon and a very powerful weapon, as flamers usually are. Slightly increased fire rate and weapon damage compared to regular flamer, but it is missing the nozzle modification if you were confused about that, and does come with its unique cosmetic skin, which is subjective as to whether or not you like it. But in terms of performance, nothing much is going to be standing in the way of Holy Fire. It's got great range on it as well, especially with that long barrel mod, and it's going to be destroying any enemies or bosses that stand in your way. Between this and the Blue Ridge Branding Iron, these are like the only weapons the events want to drop for me, as well as Luca's Switchblade, but none of the others, which kinda sucks, but I did try them all on the PTS, and one that I will mention is Elder's Mark, a submachine gun with a cool cosmetic on it, so if you do get that to drop, then definitely try that one out. Submachine gun's always fun, and it looks cool, but the rest, at least for me, nothing really phenomenal. In terms of the builds, in case you were interested in what I was using, this is for the melee weapons, so you can pause and check that out if you want. And for the Holy Fire, I was using the Heavy Gunner build. And the legendary perk cards just had the usual Electric Absorption, Power Sprinter, and Taking One for the team, even though I wasn't on a team where I recorded. But if you want to see some other weapons that you shouldn't miss out on, then check out this bid. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.